Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your host MB and K Lou.
Lou.
What's going on, y'all? Hey, glad to be in your presence again. We had an exciting weekend of basketball. A lot of people who I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. A lot of people were hating on my people, and had so much hate in their heart for that late show. We had our stars go down during, and then another one went down in the playoffs, and boy, y'all ain't give me no sympathy, boy. But I tell you what, them Brooklyn Nets, they already crying, boy. What they telling me what they don't have, MB, and I just don't get it. I'm like, man, boy, you sure ain't see all that with us. Y'all said get out there and play with three if you have to.
No love for the late show, huh?
Yeah, double A. You see it, Glass Joe Nets. And I'm gonna give Pac Jam the credit. Pac Jam said this when the deal with James Harden was done. He say, y'all getting all excited, but you forget these three guys. He said them two guys, Kyrie and KD, have never made it through a season. And boy got Lee. I get that if Pac Jam ain't Nostradamus around here.
Man, Jam ain't no.
Around here, boy. He said that when the ink.
Oh, okay. Well, he also said the Lakers was gonna win the championship, Kevin.
Hey man, hey look, both of us say that every year though.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, look, and the jury is out that Pac Jam ain't even a real Lakers fan.
Uh-oh. There you go. You ought to wake it back up. Uh-oh.
He's not a real what?
He's not a real Lakers fan. He just like LeBron. He not a real Lakers fan.
Yeah, he go.
Oh, so you tell huh? MB, that's you it. Real low. You real low.
Hey man, I'm just calling a spade a spade. And I got internet today. What we talking about today? I'm here today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no problems today. What's going on? Where everybody at? What's going on?
Get him, Chuck.
Hey, well, you know what? Since you so excited, we normally start the show when he's a problem, Chuck. But since you so excited, we gonna go to you right up front. My first question, though, is not even about your Nets. Let's start it off. Why, and MB included in this, why everybody won't give Monty Williams the credit he deserved around here, man? They just swept. They went from beating my Lakers in 6, okay, to sweeping their next opponent. Like, that's just crazy. And then everybody want to tell me about Chris Paul. MB, they don't want to tell me who the GM is. They don't never know the GM till they know the GM. Right?
Yeah, baby.
They want to tell me about all these people, Chuck. But I see one difference. James Jones been there for what? This is 4th season, 3rd season. Yeah, I see one guy that he's new. You know what I mean? And when he got trouble and went undefeated, Chuck, you put in on that, and then now he taking them look like to the Western Conference Finals. So why can't Monty Williams don't win Coach of the Year? Why he can't get love? Tell me.
I don't know why he's not getting the love, but I will say this. I mean, what he's doing is you can't argue with and you can't deny that. Like everybody always talking about, yes, Chris Paul has helped their team out, but again, last year the Phoenix Suns was the only team that went undefeated in the bubble during the regular season, the last 8 games. And I talked to Money quite a bit because obviously he's my ex-teammate. And we talked about that last year, about them guys turning the corner. And, when you got a young team such as those guys and those guys gain confidence and chemistry in each other, the next year the sky's the limit. I've been on 2 teams like that. When my first debuted in Detroit, we kind of got it together after my first year doing the after the All-Star break, and we went on to run the table the next year and lead the league and lead the Eastern Conference, be the #1 seed in the playoffs. My last year, I was in Oklahoma City and watched Russell and KD turn the corner after the All-Star break and go on to make a run. So, Monty Williams was a candidate for the Coach of the Year, which I thought he should have won. I think we all can sit here on this podcast and say that he should have won it. But the fact of the matter is that he didn't. Just like, Embiid and the other guys that were in the MVP race fell short to the Joker. So things like that happen. But we do know that Monty Williams is one of the coaches of the future. Happily that he's one of us, and much success for him. And hopefully they go as far as they can possibly take it.
No doubt. And I agree with you, Chuck. I mean, shoot, I know Monty when we was at me and K. Lou was with the Giants, and he was with the Knicks, and him a friend of Charlie Ward, became a friend of ours too, So shoot, we cheering for him. So I don't know as far as when you say recognition, I guess K. Lou's talking about, they blowing him up just give him the attention he need or attention he deserved. But I think he finished a second runner-up with Coach of the Year, But obviously, shoot, man, he can get all the recognition he deserved. I mean, when he first got there, I think the Suns was only had 19 wins,
right,
and had a young team, and he's constantly, coaching those guys, getting the most out of them. Guys are playing to their potential and beyond. Seem like they understand everybody got to roll what they got to play, playing great together.
Right.
And to me, CP is just the cherry on top,
Facts.
And so, but as far as laying the foundation, obviously Monty, man, and shoot, we knew he was a coach, real good coach with New Orleans. And then, unfortunately, the tragic happened with his wife. Took some time off, and then now just bounced back and got back into it. I think he was with Philly for a season, and they ended up, like K. Lou said, the UM general manager.
There they go. There they go. Everybody but Money.
But no, we got nothing but love for Money, man.
Yeah.
Like I say, Money, man, consider them a friend and good people, man. So you always want to see people like that succeed. And so to me, he can't get enough recognition, man.
Right.
He need how Don King promoting him right now.
Right.
But that's not about him. He's not that type of dude, So but
Chuck,
but Don King should be promoting him right now.
Tell us what it is, Chuck. Is it he's a low profile guy, not he's not gonna ever give bulletin board material. I mean, what is keeping him from everybody calling it what it is? That is I don't
think that is the lack of recognition. I just think that how it is with us, man. With us, what I mean by colored coaches, man. We have to do more. We have to do more, and it has to be more consistent. I mean, I look at it like this. We're talking about Monty Williams. I think, no one's really saying anything about Ty Lue. You understand what I'm saying? So
what you mean, fire?
How you fire him? I mean, he's one of the
y'all fired Doc for the same foolery.
Yeah, but Doc Rivers wasn't winning.
What you
He wasn't winning. He was down 3-1. Doc Rivers the only coach in the history that done lost 3-1 league. Hey, man.
Hey, Chuck,
you asked the question. What you want me to say? What you want me to say?
Hey, tell him Ty Lue, he undefeated in Game 7.
With a chip.
He undefeated in Game 7, man.
What can you say?
Hey, Lou can't see him because he's a Clipper, man. That's what he ain't got no love.
Well, if you think about it, right? Not only if we go into Ty Lue, I guess I could disagree with you with that, but Nate McMillan too, and we talked about that last show, MB, with Orlando. With Nate and the great job Nate doing, and I think what Orlando said. Well, what do you say about Nate? And I say they gonna find like they did at Indiana because he flipped that program too, and they showed they thankfulness by getting rid of it.
But there you go. Case in point. We as black coaches, we got to do more.
That's crazy though, because I mean, how much more can you do from taking the bottom of the barrel, Chuck?
I agree, but guess what? That's just life. Think about this: how many coaches would be allowed to get the job that Steve Nash got? Would you fall into a job with three top 5 guys, or the job that Frank Vogel got? You don't see black coaches getting those type of jobs. You get the black coaches are getting the jobs that don't nobody want, to where they have to turn it around. They get the Monty Williams job where they get 19 wing teams and they got to turn it around. And I mean, that's just, hey, we don't really want you guys involved in the game in our industry. So y'all got to go above and beyond to prove yourself. And if you can do that, then we'll accept you. If not, then hey, man, that's just the rules of the game. That's how they treat us. At least then they can say, hey, man, at least we gave him a chance.
Gave him a shot, right? Which is MB. I'm gonna cross over to football real quick to make this point, which is why I'm so happy that Eric Bieniemy ain't just taking any job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, sometimes, like you say, feel like it's like movie roles. You got to get in where you fit in, because that's the only role they're casting, But unfortunately, somebody said, Justin said it's 2021, it should be past the color line, but unfortunately, I guess we're not,
Right. Well, look, man, the Brooklyn Nets getting hit by the injury bug. The NBA in general, I feel like maybe getting hit by the injury bug. According to statistics, though, injuries are down 6%, but they ain't 6% with the stars. The stars out this year. Chuck, do you think the NBA finally got it wrong and came back too early?
Hey, K-Lou, before you jump on that, let me stay in this coaching. Double A got a question, and I want to fit with the last thing. Hey, Chuck, what openings can we look at for a minority, a black person to get the job? D'Antonio is right now rooming an interview for Portland. I mean, Jason Kidd turned it down. What would be the next job you could see a brother get it? The openings that they got right now. Before you answer that question about the injuries.
I think the Orlando gig would be a pretty nice gig. They got young guys.
And I think Chauncey Billups, he was rumored that he's going to interview with Boston Celtics, right?
Right. The Boston Celtics will be a really good place because they already have pieces in place. Their roster needs a little bit of tweaking, but anytime you got 2 stars such as Jaylen Brown, and you got Jason Tatum over there, and you got Kemba Walker over there, they're right there on the cusp of being the next Phoenix Suns team. If someone can get the job and can relate to those guys and put them in situations where everyone can be successful, I can see that being a great place for someone to be, especially as good as a city that Boston is as far as the sports town and them being very knowledgeable of the game of basketball. That would be a good place for a minority coach to be.
So Chuck, that's another place where your old teammate, they say they guaranteeing him an interview. Old Chauncey.
Yeah, I think Chauncey's name is going to be hot, man, because obviously he's a champion. Secondly, he's a great basketball mind. He's played the point guard spot, and as you can see, a lot of these point guards are getting the jobs because a lot of times out of 10, as a point guard, you're really the coach out there on the court because you're playing. You can see and you're understanding, almost like a quarterback in football. A lot of quarterbacks go on after they play their careers, they go on to be offensive coordinators and head coaches of football teams, and it's the same thing in basketball, man. It's just being knowledgeable, understanding what defenses are doing, understanding how to make adjustments throughout the course of the game, game management, things like that, and being a leader. So, Chauncey's name is going to be hot because he's been all of that and some with every organization he's been with. So, I keep my fingers crossed that my brother get his opportunity.
All right, nice, man. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask you that question since we were just talking about coaching opportunity. But go ahead and answer the question about injuries.
The injuries, man, I mean, that's something that you can't, like, it's a part of the game, but no one knew that Kyrie Irving was going to step on that guy's foot last night. You know, no one knew that LeBron James was going to be, injured. A lot of that stuff has to do with fatigue, man. Like, there's a lot of games played last year throughout these last 10, 11 months. You know, you go from being in a bubble situation to coming right back and starting the regular season. And them guys, regardless of how much they take care of their bodies, you know, fatigue is going to always be a part of it. And, you know, you just never know when your body's going to break down. You know, especially with guys like LeBron James, who's played a lot of basketball and has a lot of wear and tear on his body over the course of the years. You got to think this guy's been in the game for almost 20 years, if not 20 years. He never really gets summers off because he always got to play USA basketball. He's a workout fanatic. So eventually, you know, he's going to start breaking down. You know, we all know about Kyrie. I mean, these guys are playing a lot of basketball, man.
So we got a long time listener, Derek say that he likes salmon, man.
Yeah, I think Sam Cassell should get an opportunity. I think Sam Cassell should get an opportunity. I think he's a guy who's just like Chauncey Billups, who's been around. He's been up under Doc Rivers in championship situations, not only as a player but also as a coach. I think he should be getting interviews. I think David Vanderpool should be getting interviews, the assistant coach from the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's another guy who should probably go out and get the Portland job because he was up under Terry Stotts. He has a rapport with Damian Lillard and everybody in the Portland organization. And they did him dirty in Minnesota, where they appointed him as the associate head coach up under the Saunders guy. And then when the season started going bad, Saunders stepped down, and then they came back and gave another guy from a whole other organization a 3-year deal without even offering him the job. So he's a guy who's sitting there now in Minnesota up under a whole new regime, and I'm pretty sure they probably lied to him and told him something different. And here it is, the Portland Trailblazers job is now open. You know, I think he deserves an opportunity. I mean, the list is long, man. I mean, I'm not going to say. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say and make it seem that because guys are colored. Like, good coaches are good coaches. Don't get me wrong. Right. But I will say, and anyone that's been around the game and knows, there's different opportunities. You have opportunities where, hey man, I'm just happy to be coaching, or get a head coaching job, and I go take a Minnesota Timberwolves job where everything is in shambles and everything is a mess. And why would I put myself up under that situation, knowing that if it don't work out within a year or two, I'm gonna be fired? And then you have an opportunity like the Boston Celtics, where you got 2 or 3 stars put in place. You got a good team that's already been to the playoffs, and all you got to do is take those guys to the next level. Situations are a little bit different.
Right. So Chuck, I'm going back to your Nets, man, because I need to talk to you about them.
Come on, let's talk.
Okay, so we down James Harden. You know that's my guy. I'm sick about that. But
okay. You
down Kyrie Irving. You got your stud still. Mm-hmm. Your Hall of Famer, mm-hmm. Kevin Durant. But are we going to look back at Kevin Durant when it's all said and done and talk about him like we do the Iceman George Gervin, a guy that was a killer, right? Obviously, KD was a champion, but at the same token, you never consider George Gervin, even when you talk about the greats. Like, you don't talk about him because he didn't win it on his own. And KD, really, we going to know him as never being the guy, the reason why anybody won. He was just a great piece of the puzzle.
I think those two guys are two totally different people, just simply because even in Golden State, KD was the best player on the team.
Right.
Even though they won the championship.
It was
every year they won it, he was the MVP. He was the best player on the court.
But I don't think we'll have an argument if we say we take out Clay and Steph. I don't think he's the same guy. I'm sorry.
I mean, I get that, but Kevin, we could say that about everybody. We could say that about LeBron. And
we can't say that about it because he down 3-1 with me out there.
He down 3-1 with Kyrie out there.
Kyrie got hurt too, man.
No, Kyrie was the guy that made the game-winning shot.
Right. He scored 41 in one.
Come on, man.
Let me have my time, man.
No, I'm giving it to you, but we gonna talk facts.
Exactly. Get on her, Chucky.
I'm giving it to you, but we gonna talk facts. Like LeBron James says, when has LeBron James said, "Okay, I'm gonna put y'all on
there with, what's the dude name was falling all over himself from Europe?
Who?
The white guy, the point guard that we never heard of. He out there winning with him, man.
Man, he didn't win a championship with that guy.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not. That dude wasn't on that team.
I need Pac Jam bad, man.
And please get him on the phone because you obviously
Bella.
Yeah, he was gone, man.
Somebody.
He was gone, man. They was out there. They won a championship with Mo Williams, Kyrie Irving, and those guys.
But listen, he picking up people and taking them to the promised land. KD ain't never took nobody anywhere. And listen,
hey, KD done been to the listen. Y'all acting like Kevin Durant ain't never been to the finals without Steph Curry them.
He hasn't because he had Westbrook and James Harden with him the last time.
Hey, look, y'all be killing me about who they got. Y'all be killing me with who they got when y'all got has been picking his team every year.
Yeah, but we don't pick
he pick his team every year. LeBron pick his team every year.
Right.
Yeah, but they 1 year deals, man. 1 year.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Hey, we ain't got but 3 players on our roster right now, Chuck.
Yep, and guess what's gonna happen? He finna pick everybody.
We finna pick again. That's
yep.
Right.
Look, he want Westbrook. He want Bradley Beal. He want Dame Lillard. He want everybody.
That's right. And we trying to get. I want Dame too.
Come on, man.
I texted LeBron the other night. Told him Dame. Okay. I said a year ago. Didn't the MB? I told you, Dame, we needed Dame.
Get Dame. Hey, look, get Magic. Call Magic back. Get Dame. Get all the greats.
If Magic needs was worth anything, we'll have him.
I know.
We'll have him. And Braun will finally get off the ball.
It's amazing when he don't have all the pieces in place to where he can't get out the first round now.
What you mean the right? Listen, hold on. There you go, Chuck.
He can't even get out he can't even get out the first round no more, bro.
We ain't got our killer. We needed one killer.
Who was the killer?
AD
was there.
No, he wasn't there, man. Come on, he got hurt.
I'm missing JaVale McGee. You missing JaVale McGee.
See what KD can do by himself. We know about to see that. Here's my issue with KD, Chuck, and I don't think you're gonna argue about this.
What's your issue?
KD don't make nobody better around him, man. Not nobody, and that's the problem. Like you don't have to go out there.
Let me ask you this question. What is KD's job to do when he's on the basketball court?
Hit 70.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
Well, I'm just saying that's why he ain't gonna be able to win nothing by himself. That's why the Greek freak about to look like
none of them gonna win nothing by themselves. That's why it's a team game.
Right.
No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Listen, man. Listen. He not gonna win unless those guys there. That's what it is.
That's right. That's where I'm at.
But ain't gonna win without himself. Michael Jordan didn't win none by himself.
What you talking about?
Come on.
There you go and look. What we getting Mike and Kate? Don't even mention Mike and KD name together, man. Stop. That's blasphemous right there. So don't even start that. You just keep talking about LeBron.
All I'll say is this. In a finals series, LeBron James is down to KD.
But now,
In the final series, when they faced off in the finals, KD is up on LeBron.
Oh, there you go. He ain't up nowhere. Again, our argument that you trying to have is that they the same.
I never said that. That's the argument that you're trying to have. You asked me, and you said, Chuck, KD don't make nobody better. And I asked you, I said, what is it that he do? I said, what is it that he do? What he get paid to do? You said he get paid to score. I said, okay, so we're not going to compare the two. You trying to make the argument. I'm saying when they faced off in the finals, KD was the best player in the series.
Oh, no, he wasn't. Stop it. That's not even close, man. He had the best players on the court, but he wasn't the best player.
Hey, listen, that man was coming down shooting that thing across half court, man.
And you can do that when you know you got two other guys doing the same thing.
Hey.
Sure.
Hey, look, one thing we can always say is that we have seen LeBron James lose finals with super teams. Can we agree on that?
Hey, that was like you and Derek Shaw playing together. My turn, your turn. So don't talk like that. That was a different world when Derek was with you and then when he left, wasn't it?
Listen, we're fans of, I think it's fair to say that we're fans of all these guys. I'm a LeBron James fan. I'm a KD fan, but they're all gonna bring something different to the table.
Right.
So you ain't gonna see look. LeBron, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, their role was the same, was to score points for their team. That's what they did. That's what KD's job to do, is to score points for his team. He gonna shoot the ball 25 times.
Kobe made everybody better around him too. He threatened them.
Yeah.
They ain't getting no more passes. They ain't getting no assists, but he threatened them.
Hey, man. I ain't mad at that.
Hey, he did it a different way.
Right. I agree. Hey, whatever worked for you.
Yeah. Right. Hey, but talk to us, Chuck. Tell us about how Phoenix was able to definitely close their series and then go right into why the Milwaukee Bucks gonna go ahead and finish this thing off.
Well, I'll say this: the Phoenix Suns are playing traditional basketball, and what I mean by that is nowadays teams go into the season with the analytics of basketball to where they want to shoot all these 3-pointers. It's either a 3-pointer or a dunk, right? Mm-hmm. And what happens when you start playing against teams, everybody is fanning out and just pretty much protecting the 3-point lines and giving up dunks, right? Because everybody running out to the foot. But Monty Williams is saying, hey, man, we're going to play traditional basketball. We're going to shut down the lane. We're going to make sure that we don't get beat with layups. Hey, we're going to contest all threes. And God forbid if the team playing against us is turning the ball over, we're going to get out and we're going to run. And it's been effective. And late in the game, they got one of the best closers and one of the best game managers in the game.
Right.
You got Booker out there. He's a closer. You got CP3 out there. He's a closer and a game manager. And if they get you in a situation where you're down by 8 to 10 points with 3 to 4 minutes left in the game, they're going to be hard to beat.
Chuck, Chris Paul, 9 buckets in a row, man.
Yeah.
He closing like that. Did you still saw that kind of play in him coming into this season?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. See, what people don't really pay attention to is they're looking at Chris Paul and saying, okay, what is he doing and how is he doing it? But people don't realize he's playing the same exact game. Yeah. When you watch him the first half, he ain't really doing nothing but collecting data. He's running around, he's passing the ball to everybody, he's saving his energy, he's making sure you get the ball to Booker, he's throwing the ball up high to DeAndre Ayton. He's finding the Crowders and the Mikal Bridges and all these shooters wide open, and they're putting the ball in the hole right now, and they're confident with playing the right way. Now, I know that I can come off on this pick and roll and get this shot right here anytime I want to. But guess what? I'm gonna save it to the fourth quarter when I need it. That's all he's doing. I'm watching these guys come out there. They're being highly aggressive on him in the first half, in the first quarter, and he just sit back like, okay, y'all just wait.
Right.
I just wait.
And sadly, man, every time y'all talk about Chris Paul, it brings me back to a sad 2011 when David Stern ruined my life. And stopped the trade that should have happened.
Yeah.
When we done hung 3 more on the rafters with Chris Paul.
Yeah, you probably would have. You probably would have. I mean, the dude is a sharp dude. You know, basketball wise, he's a genius. I respect everything about Chris Paul as a competitor and as a fan. If you ain't on your game when you play against him, you gonna have a long night. And these younger guys, Austin Rivers and this other guy, Campazzo, I think they're seeing like they seen last series that the dude is the real deal.
Now go right into Milwaukee and talk to us about why they gonna go ahead and finish off your Nets.
Well, Milwaukee has put Milwaukee Bucks in. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks has put the Brooklyn Nets in a peculiar situation. I don't think, you know, up until this point they've been playing with any type of pressure. It was big that they came back and they got games 3 and 4 in Milwaukee to see, you know, how things are gonna go. I don't think that they're gonna let my man beat up on KD again like they did last game
yes, sir.
In Brooklyn.
PJ Tucker gonna give him them elbow. Well, PJ might be a little scared, Chuck, because the security guard jumped in there and hated on him.
But I think right now, you know, the Milwaukee Bucks has the momentum, and that's the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I think now is when your guys like your Blake Griffins got to step up and be the superstar that he once was. You know,
now, what happened to him though? Because he didn't finish game.
I just think that he might have been in a situation in Embiid where he was tired or physically beat up or frustrated or whatever the situation may be, and that happens in the playoffs when you're on the road. But I'm pretty sure now that they went back and watched the film, they went over everything, and knowing that Kyrie is going to be out and James Harden is going to be out, that they're going to say, okay, man, listen, in order for us to make this work, we got to get somebody else involved other than KD. I'm looking for a guy like, you know, Joe Harris to step up to make something happen. And, you know, obviously Blake Griffin. Like, people forget that just 2 years ago, Blake Griffin was a 25-10 guy. Right. So, you know, so now he has to step up and show people that he's still relevant and he's still that guy. Or if not, they're going to be talking about him.
And he showed in the first game to some degree. He had 18 points and 14 rebounds. But do you think, minus Kyrie, that they have the supporting cast to beat Milwaukee?
I think they have right now. The main goal for the Brooklyn Nets.
Well.
I think right now their mindset is just to win the next game. They can win the next game at home, then they can extend the series. And the longer the series go along, they'll be able to get their troops back. You know, a 60% James Harden or a 75% Kyrie Irving still on the court is more dangerous than them guys not having them at all, because you still have to honor them and you still got KD.
Okay, so I'm glad you just brought up James. You think he's now been forced or put in a position where he has to suit up now?
No, I don't think that he's like. I don't think that they've reached that point yet. Just simply because you got to think they still got to win 2 games, and 2 of the 3 games that they have now are at home. I think, regardless of what happens in the series, in order for either one of these teams to win the series, somebody's going to have to win a road game. Somebody's going to have to win a road game. I don't think that it's going to be, well, you know, every home team is going to win the game. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, this is
so then you still ain't told me why the Milwaukee Bucks going to go in and close this series out. You haven't given me the reason why.
I mean, they have their opportunities. They have their opportunities to win it. They've come back and they've done it. But I just don't see how they could close it out, being that they shot the ball extremely well and made a whole bunch of shots in Milwaukee, and they barely won Game 3. I probably should have lost it. And then last night was just a weird game where guys were injured. Like that happens. But now they still haven't proven that they could win a game in Brooklyn. They haven't even come close to winning a game in Brooklyn. And those guys are going to be amped up and they're going to be hyped. And again, if they can just get a decent game out of Blake Griffin and KD be KD, they'll find a way to win it by 1 point. And that's all they need to do.
Okay, and moving right along, if things play out the way I feel like they're going to play out now, guys, I think it's a Utah-Phoenix type of championship coming out of the West, and then the Bucks on the East. Does a Utah or Phoenix Buck versus the Bucks finals move the TV needle? Chuck, will Auntie Seal watch that final?
No, I don't think that. I'll say this. There's only one team in the East that'll beat the Philadelphia 76ers.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
And the Nets the only one that can beat them.
That's the only team that'll beat.
I agree with
what
Chuck.
you talking about? I thought you just finished telling me Doc can't get it done.
Hey, that was when he was with the Clippers. Right now, Doc Rivers got the number one defensive team in the East, with everybody on their team 6'5" or better, 6'6" or better, and they got the probably who should have been the MVP on their team. That he's a for sure bucket. So if they get anything out of Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons can make a free throw, them guys gonna be hard to beat.
Well, and I think Doc is at his best when his personality, his character, his control is over his team. And I say the same thing when he was with the Celtics and had KG them, because he had those vets buying in to his mentality. I think these guys respect him so much they doing what he asks. As a matter of fact, the last game he challenged Ben Simmons in the fourth that we need you in the post and we coming through you. You better show up, and he did it. So what is? Do you agree with that, or you feel like Doc just this team was ready and primed to make a run like this anyway?
I think they were primed to make a run. It was just about a matter of styles and coaching. Like one thing that I do know about Doc Rivers is he's going to always attack the best player on the other team. I mean, he did it when I played for him. We played against Philadelphia. He told me, hey, man, as much as you can go at Iverson, go at him. Put him in as many pick and rolls as you possibly can.
Wow.
Go at him, make him play defense, this, that, and the other. Okay. One of the things that I said about the Atlanta Hawks series, last series against the New York Knicks, is they never made him play defense. They never went at him. They just allowed him to play all offense, right? The first game, they never really went at him. The first game in Philadelphia, they never really went at him. They kind of just let him play all offense. Doc Rivers make the adjustment. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put Ben Simmons on him, a younger, more athletic, bigger guy. And then we're going to go at him on offense when he's playing defense and make him play defense. And up to this point, it's worked to where he's not even near the same player that he was.
Right.
I don't think that they'll win another game. And I said that after they won the first game. I was like, once Philadelphia came back and the physicality of the game rose to a certain level, and I didn't see Atlanta raise up to that level, I said the series is over. Right. And up to this point, it's just been a whitewash since then.
Yep.
Wow. Well, Chuck, we definitely appreciate you stopping through, man. Is there anything else you want to put us on game by?
No, man. Listen, man. What time the Lakers play? They play.
I told you, LV. Don't worry, we on the boat fishing.
Okay, all right.
Black jerseys that's gonna be fishing with us in just a second.
All right, okay. Well, hey, listen, I tell you what, y'all can sure tell us where the vacation spots are.
That's right. We don't mind, baby. We don't mind. When we come back next year with Dame Dollar, boy, y'all.
Hey, man, y'all gonna come back next year. That's all that matters. As long as it's next year.
That's right. That's right. It's gonna be next.
Hey, Chuck, like K-Lou, he got so much hate. He don't even want to ask you about before you go, man. Talk about that Clippers Jazz game, man.
I don't care nothing about
that.
Oh, hey, listen. The same thing I said earlier. The Clippers, I don't think that they'll win the series. I'm hoping they win the series because those are my guys. I don't know if they can win the series just simply because as well as they shot the ball, like I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at, okay, the first game was pretty much a whitewash. I give that game away just simply because the Clippers were tired. They just came through game 7 against a hard-fought Dallas Maverick series. The second game, they slowed it down, and Utah was able to run away with it. I mean, not run away with it, but they slowed it down, and Utah was able to win a hard-fought, close game. Right? So they come back the last game, and the Clippers shot the ball extremely well. I mean, Paul George was off the meter. Reggie Jackson was off the meter.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard was Kawhi.
Yep.
Right? I don't know if they could shoot that ball at such a high clip every game. If they can, they stand a chance of winning it. If they can't, it's hard to stop that boy Donovan Mitchell and the rest of them boys out there doing their thing, and they got the big boy in there being a presence. It's kind of hard, but I'm hoping for the best.
Wait, and you got the best two-way players in league history ever, right? And why is the spider running around there, man? Like this is a joke for me. What are y'all doing? Who supposed to be guarding me?
Man, that's just how good these guys are. I don't be wanting to hear that two-way stuff because Luka Doncic is doing the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, these guys are the best at what they do. They're phenomenal. The Spider's a phenomenal athlete. He got young legs. He's shooting the ball from distance with amazing accuracy. So when those guys get rolling, I don't care who you put on. I mean, that two-way stuff sounds real good until a guy get hot. And once he get hot, it's over with.
Hey, Chucky, what you think about the adjustment that you mentioned about Tyronn Lue? Like, he went with the small ball lineup again, changed it up again. I think he's tried so many different lineups, and that was successful trying to get some smaller guys on Rudy. But Rudy actually did well when he was isolated. The one dude I saw, I want to get your opinion on, that Favors. Anytime Favors was on by, man, they took him to the hole.
Well, I think they're going to make that adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Because again, certain series favor certain guys. This ain't the series right now for Derek Favors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just simply because the Clippers got all these fast guys, young guys running around. Getting Michael Conley Jr. back would be huge for Utah. You know what I'm saying? If they get him back, that'd be huge. That'd be almost like the Lakers getting Rondo back last year.
Right.
He's a guy who can make shots. He's a proven leader. And then he'll also be able to move Donovan off the ball more and allow him to rest and get out there on the break a little bit more and cause havoc. So that'll be huge and in this series. So the fun part of it is the chess pieces, the chess moves. So we'll see what adjustments Utah coach come back with. Quinn Snyder and look forward to tonight's game.
Yeah. What's your prediction on tonight's game?
I'm hoping the Clippers win. I want the Clippers to win. I wanted to go back to Utah tied up 2-2 and see what Utah does up under some type of pressure.
Yeah. I love the fact that you said if Mike Conley come back, then that'll give Spider a chance to create havoc. What is he do? Boy, I'm scared of that.
Yeah,
he hit 45 and 37, and he gonna create havoc. What that is, 60?
Well, right now, you take the ball out of his hands, and you can put him in positions to attack from other areas as opposed to him bringing the ball up the court all the time. It's the same thing that we talk about LeBron. You keep putting the ball in his hands, and he got to try to break down 5 people every time. Eventually, he gonna wear out.
Yeah,
but you put Michael Conley Jr. out there, somebody who can score points and create for themselves and others, and you put Donovan Mitchell in a situation where all he has to do is just concentrate on scoring, and you can put him in situations where he can attack from different areas of the court. They're gonna have a real problem.
Is there anybody that is safe? Because Conley out again tonight. Is there anybody that you like to see more that can kind of do that? Can Clarkson do that and free Donovan up? No.
Nah. Clarkson in there just solely for one thing: shoot the ball.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's it.
And that joke.
That's it.
Yeah, we used
That's all
to
he
really,
gonna do. Yep. But again, you bring Mike Conley in there. Mike Conley is a game changer just simply because he can still do all that stuff.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Well,
yeah,
Chuck, we sure appreciate you. I appreciate
you. Look, you know how we do, baby.
you.
Hey, tell Pat Jam listen. Pat Jam ain't been on the show since the Lakers got eliminated. I don't like that.
Hey, I ain't want to come back either, Chuck. Let me be
honest. Hey, man, listen, man, we got bills to pay on this show, man. We need Pat Jam back.
I ain't want to come back either, baby. I don't blame you.
Tell him I ain't gonna beat him up too bad, but I'm gonna. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see Pat Jam on the world tour. Everywhere he done been to LA, he done been to the Magic City. Now he going down south. He doing everything but being on this podcast. Tell him we get in his face.
Hey man, I'm getting off of here, man.
I see y'all.
I got a dinner to go to, man. Hey, I love both of y'all. I'm out of here, LB.
All right, dog. All right. Y'all be cool, man. Next week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. What's up, fellas? I'm waiting on my man, Coach Laser, to talk about these Major League Baseball, see if he can get on and talk about it. But yeah, but I agree with you, Westbrook. When Kawhi was on Mitchell, that helped. That was a big adjustment. It helped out a lot, you know. Especially they start blitzing him, getting the balls out of his hand. Just like Chuck was saying, when he's the major facilitator, it's an issue, you know. So the Clippers did a good job trying to get him to get the ball out of his hands early and let somebody else beat you, you know. But I was like, man, they should continue with that game plan, because as the game went on, especially in the third quarter, man, that joker start heating up. He started heating up again. So I was like, man, why didn't they do the same defense they had on him before on that second quarter, I believe, and make him get the ball out of his hands. So, but definitely want to watch that. And then playoff P, baby, Paul George was stepping up, man, doing his thing. And I was really surprised. To me, he was playing more of a point guard role, penetrating and dishing out, or penetrating and making stuff happen. So who's going to show up tonight? Playoff P, baby? Or pandemic P, huh? As I think K. Lou like to call him, you know. So we'll definitely see what's you guys' thoughts on that. Who you got, Double A? Who you got, Westbrook? Who y'all got for tonight's game? Utah or the Clips? Who we got and why? We're waiting on my man Coach Laser to come through. See if he's able to come through. Because I'm telling you, last game, man, Kawhi and PG, their problem, right? Both of them, man, out the back. Paul George had 31 points, 6 from 8 behind the arc, 3 rebounds and 5 assists. And Kawhi had 34 points, 20 of them came, I believe, in the second half. Had 12 boards, 5 assists, all right, to lead the Clips in a blowout victory over the Jazz. All right, Double A say he got Clippers with Kawhi up. Let's see, Derek saying, oh, it's a tough call, huh? Tough series anyway, but Utah got the most complete team. I see you. Okay. But who you got? So I guess Derek, you got Westbrook, you got Utah tonight. Double A got the Clips. Mitch is complaining about the ankle. Ooh, yeah. That's right, because he exited that last series, that last game early. Yeah, I'm going with the Clips tonight. I think the Clips gonna even this series out, man. Especially if they can get the same production out of playoff P. And then also it's different now. I know the bubble and stuff is different now. You know, being able to have fans and playing home field advantage kind of means something a little bit, you know, to some degree, you know. Yeah. And then the Philly game, I agree with you, man. Philly just got too much size and depth right now, and too much heart, you know. Yeah, no doubt. Okay. Oh, okay. So Derek, okay, you got Kawhi. I got you. You got Kawhi. got Kawhi and the Clippers. You threw me for a loop, but I agree. Utah before the playoffs seemed like the most complete team. I think the Suns now, the way they've been growing in the playoff, they're kind of challenging that complete team. But Micah Conley, though, man, I mean, he's a big part. I mean, for him to be out, man, especially against the Clippers, because at the point guard position, that's usually the Clippers' kryptonite, you know. Even though what's the name, Reggie Jackson, the new Mr. October, Mr. June, been playing well. You know, that's usually where people take advantage of him. We got my man, Coach Laser. What's up, Coach Laser? How you doing?
How you doing, Michael? How's everything?
It's going well, man. It's going well. We just sitting here talking about the basketball game. I don't know how much of the NBA you've been watching, but we just sitting here just until you come filling in the time. They got 2 games going on tonight. They got Philadelphia 76ers versus the Atlanta Hawks.
The Hawks, yes.
And then they got the LA Clippers versus the Utah Jazz. So we're just trying to figure out having people pick their winners, who they think. Who you got? Who you got out of Philly in the Hawks?
Man, that's a tough one. It all depends. Like they've been saying, can Ben Simmons, you know, hit those free throws? Because he's terrible.
Yeah, they may go the hack of Shaq. They may go hack of Ben, you know.
But I'm going with Philly, and I'm going with the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, me too. I was going the same way, man.
Philly and Clippers.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Last time that thing was so good, but we had to go. Man, talk to me. So right now, let's just jump right in it, man. Tell me, man, when you think of National League, I was reading something about they got the All-Star voting going on. And who's your All-Stars, man, in the National League? What players you want to talk about today, man?
Well, right now, you know, you got 2 of the youngest guys in the league leading the votes, both in the American and the National League. You got Acuna in the National League. He's leading all votes in the National League. And, of course, Vladdy Guerrero is also leading as the vote getter, number 1 vote getter in the American League. And you know, we could talk about a lot of All-Stars today, Michael.
Yeah.
And I know we don't have much time, and I apologize for that.
No, it's all good.
I don't know about computers, and it's hard for me to get in and stuff. But
you right on time, baby.
You know, here's a kid like Vladimir, and I call him a kid because he's 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
We're so accustomed now to, you know, 320s, 310 batting averages, and we all think those are great batting average, which they are. I mean, you're succeeding close to 80% of you. I'm sorry, close to 80% of your at bats. But look at this kid Vladimir's numbers: 344,
wow,
21 home runs, and 55 RBIs.
Wow.
Come on, are you serious? And then you go to Acuna, and Acuna really hasn't played as many games as Vladdy, but he's hitting like 287. He's got 18 home runs and close to 40 RBIs, and he's played probably like 15 games less than Vladdy. But, you know, you got these young guys nowadays that are just killing. I mean, you got Tatis with the Padres. I mean, this kid, is it the bloodline? I mean, is it the bloodline? I mean, you got 3 of the best players, and their fathers were 3 of the best players when they were playing baseball. Wow. So, you know, I'm always thinking about that. You know, does the bloodline bring in good bloodline or better bloodline to that sport, whether it's football or baseball? But again, you go back to Vladdy, you go back to Ronald, you go back to Tatis, my goodness, McCullers now at Houston. You're seeing a lot of young guys that are really coming up the ranks, and a lot of these older players, if you see, they're not getting paid the same money they were getting paid before, and it's because of these young guys. And you're going to see a lot of young guys in the All-Star game. You know, just looking at pitchers that they're young. The Marlins have a kid named Hoffman, Trevor Hoffman, that's a left-handed pitcher. This kid is 5-2 with a 1.72 ERA. Come on, let's get after this. I mean, and you look around the league, and there's so many young guys, and you know who my favorite is, which is Ohtani from the Angels.
Yeah.
I mean, 6'2" as a pitcher, has 22 bombs, has close to 60 RBIs. It's about the young group now. It really is.
Yeah, and sure, he's also the leading vote getter as a designated hitter, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. You know.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, this guy brings the complete package, man. He brings and too bad he was injured early in his career.
Right.
When he first came from Japan, he was injured, but now he's gotten it back going, and you know, it's a great player to watch. And you know, and Michael, we were talking about this last Friday. If I could talk a little bit about what we talked about on Friday, you know. I just finished telling you that all these young guys are getting, you know, better each day, that, you know, making the all-star team. They're pushing these veteran players to, you know, actually to the bench, or, you know, to AAA or whatever it is in that organization. You know, we talked about all these kids now that are being committed, you know, and we're talking baseball, being committed as 8th graders and 9th graders. You would never see that.
Exactly.
Okay. These kids would always take their 3 or 4 visits.
Yeah.
Okay. And nowadays they don't even take the 3 or 4 visits. They commit as early as 8th and 9th grade. But you know, you're looking at these kids, and I call them kids because they're 14, 15 years old. And we talked about this last Friday, you know, throwing 90 and above, 90, 91. Right. The other day I saw a 14-year-old already hitting 88, 89. That used to be a first rounder 20 years ago.
Right.
If you hit 89, 91, even 92, you were a first rounder.
Right.
Now 88, 89 is like nothing. Now the average fastball in high school and in college is about 93, 94.
Wow.
So, you know, where are they getting this from? And we talked a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Are they getting extra training? Are they lifting more? Are they doing something different? Are they working with the bands more? Are they doing some things that they shouldn't be doing?
Right.
You know, which, talking, you know, as friends that we are for a long time, it's got to be doing something that you shouldn't be doing. I don't care what anybody tells me, okay, or what everybody says they know or don't know. There's just no way a kid that's 14, 15 years old hitting 88, 91 miles an hour. I don't care how much you work with them in the weight room and plyos and stretching and bands and all that stuff. It's just, it's there's no way, Michael. There's really no way. And you know, in high school, they're starting to random drug test them. I don't know if you know that. But now
I know you mentioned it last time.
They're testing them randomly, and they don't care. Let me just tell you this real quick.
Yeah,
Calvary Christian has 3 pitchers. 2 pitchers are committed to University of Miami. One's committed to the Gators, University of Florida. They were committed. Two are seniors, one's a junior. They were committed since they were in 9th and 10th grade to those respective schools. Michael, these guys are throwing 95, 96 miles an hour.
Wow.
95, 96 miles an hour. How do you figure? You know, they talk about the throwing ranch in Texas. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No, I never heard.
It's an arm strength program that they have in Texas, and supposedly all the major league pitchers go there, all the high school pitchers go there, college pitchers go there in their break time, and it's supposed to be like phenomenal. I mean, it costs a pretty dime. I mean, it costs a lot of money to go there. So they're saying they have one in Texas, they have one in Jacksonville, and they have one, I think, in Gainesville. And people go there for like 2-3 weeks doing all these, you know, workouts, bullpens, short boxes, long toss. And supposedly that's where they're getting their velocity. But Michael, I've been doing this for over 30 years. I feel that I did it at the highest stage, which is University of Miami baseball.
Yep.
And I worked with long tossing, and I worked with you know, lifting, plyos, band exercises. And man, maybe I just don't know it anymore, but my kids would only increase anywhere between 2 and 4 miles. And when you would get that increase, it was like, wow, what a great job we did. Now the increase is averaging 8 miles an hour.
Wow.
8 miles an hour. And there's kids that'll get 9 to 11 miles an hour in their increase. Their velocity, their breaking ball spin, their rotation rate, or whatever that thing is called, it's ridiculous. You got curveballs now going 85, 86 miles an hour, good downward plane, 12 to 6. Where did you ever hear that? You never heard that, Michael.
Right.
So I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me, to be honest with you.
Now, when you talk about long boxes and short boxes, kind of explain that. What is that?
Okay, a pitcher has to have, let's say, for example, you pitched today, which is Monday. Okay, you did your pitching, you threw 70, 80 pitches. The next day, okay, you do a light long toss. A light long toss is anywhere between 90 and 120 feet, maybe 20 or 25 throws. The following day on Wednesday, you do your actual long toss, 200, 250 feet, maybe 25 or 30, trying to stretch out the arm, taking all that lactic acid and dead blood cells off of the elbow and shoulder. Then the Thursday, you would do a short box. A short box, instead of throwing from 60 feet, 6 inches, okay, you throw from 54 feet and just work on your curveball, work on your changeup. The following day, you do, that's when you do your bullpen, or you just play catch to do your bullpen the next day, which your bullpen is the last thing that you do before you pitch again.
Okay.
So it's a process. A lot of these young kids, and I try to explain to their parents, the kid will pitch, and then for the next couple of days, the parents say, "Oh, I don't want him throwing because I want his arm to rest." That's completely wrong. The more you rest, the more you accumulate dead blood cells and lactic acid in your arm. Gotcha. So I try to tell them, listen, you got to throw every day. You got to throw different throws every day. Maybe one day you long toss. This for a position player. One day you long toss for 150 feet. The other day you long toss for 90 feet. But you do have to have some type of throwing every day.
So you know what? Talk a little bit more about that, Coach Laser. Like, so say for example, let's break that down. Say if a kid pitch a complete game, say on Saturday, take me through his schedule for that next between that last pitch and his next start.
Well, from that last pitch, what you want him to do, especially if he pitched a complete game, like you're saying, you're talking about anywhere between 80 and 100 pitches in a complete game for a high school player. Of course, it's a little bit more for a college and professional player. But that same day, after a kid pitches, the first thing he has to do is start doing his what we call time pulls, which is from left field to right field and right field to left field. And what you do is you go from 38 seconds to 36 to 34, 32, and 30 time pulls, which makes it about 10 pulls. And again, we talk about the lactic acid, we talk about all that stuff. And that's the number one thing you got to do that same day. And of course, some pitchers like twice, some don't. And that's fine. What I suggest also that day is that they milk the arm.
Okay. What's milk the arm? What's that?
Okay, just kind of like, let me stand up here, but just having the arm here and milk it down.
Oh, okay.
Massage it. Okay, you milk the arm down. The following day, you do what we call a flush. Okay, a flush, you'll run for about an hour, hour and a half. Okay, you'll always, like I said, you're going to throw first. You're going to do all types of your throwing. Maybe, like I said earlier, anywhere between 90, 120 feet, then you flush. Okay, what is the flush? An hour to an hour and 30 minutes of full run, come back without resting, go right into the weight room, do core work, a lot of lower body, a lot of back and shoulders, and get back on a treadmill, for example. and do
Okay.
speed work after
Okay.
that. So we're flushing the whole body.
I see.
Any bad thing that it's gone. The following days, like I said, it's the long toss day. And after you do your long toss and all that, now you're doing 60-yard sprints, 10, 60-yard sprint, you know, working on quickness, you know, accelerated muscles and all that. The following day, that's when you start getting to your bullpens.
Okay.
You know, where there's a short box, where there's a flat ground. Okay, flat ground is more like, you know, just there on the grass, working on your changeup, working on your curveball. It's what we call a feel flat ground, just feeling your pitches.
Okay.
And then, of course, you go into that bullpen the final day, rest one day, and go into the game.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
There's a lot of things. I mean,
I
people just think it's just going out there and pitching, but pitchers work their G-manity off, their butts off.
Yeah.
And nowadays, and we talked about this, their pitchers are lifting more. It used to be where they didn't want pitchers to do bench, you know, and just do dumbbell bench. Pitchers are now doing full bench, full back, squats. They're doing the complete type of lifting any position player does as well.
Oh, wow, man. Nice, man. And what I like what you're talking about, it seems like it's a complete body workout. You know, like when you talk about, it's just not the work on your arms, the rest of your arm. It's like you mentioned about sprinting, you mentioned about running, you mentioned about all that stuff, flushing the body. You know, it's like,
exactly,
it's getting the whole body involved. It's just not the arm, but it's almost like total care, you know?
Well, it's got to be total care. I mean, remember where we get all our power as a pitcher is from our core, our legs, our core, and stuff like that. And that's one thing pitchers work on every single day, every single day. One of the things that I'm doing with my pitchers now, Michael, I don't know how much time I got, but we're doing a lot of tire rolls, okay, tire flips. Yeah. We're doing a lot of hammers to the tire. We're doing a lot more explosive work with pitchers nowadays.
Okay.
And again, that will help the velocity, but I go back to 8 to 11 mile velocity. Nah, I won't buy it.
Yeah. I remember it was this guy that came out and they was talking about how his diet and stuff like that. And somebody knew, he was like, man, the stuff that he eating just don't make sense, you know? It shouldn't have that type of result, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there, when you listen to, I just like hearing you say about the production 8 and 11%, you know, miles per hour increase on that. Is there something in the workout where like, wait a minute, that don't make sense? There's no, so it sounds like you're saying that, you know, like that doesn't add up at all, you know.
It doesn't, Michael. It really doesn't.
Yeah, but let me before I let you go, let's tell me about the standings, man. What doesn't make sense, or what is making sense right now? The Major League Baseball standings. What's going on?
Well, you remember on Friday when I was talking to you guys, I was talking about all these low budget teams that are right now. I mean, again, you look at Tampa, the White Sox, Oakland, Cubs, San Francisco. These guys, out of 6 divisions, you got 5 low bottom teams that have no money, have not invested any money on big time players, and are in first place.
Exactly.
You know, and I love it because they're playing, you know, usually in Major League Baseball, they play station to station, which is the most boring. That's why people think baseball is so boring and professionally, because they play station to station. Guy gets to first base, instead of bunting them over or doing a hit and run, they wait to see if this guy gets another hit or a double.
Okay.
These young teams that are right now, they're doing all crazy things.
Okay.
I mean, they're hitting and running. They're hitting behind the runner. They're bunting, they're squeezing because they're having fun.
Okay.
They're having fun because they're young. They don't know any better.
Right.
They don't know any better. And that's why, in my opinion, you got these teams that are in first place right now.
Right.
Okay. One of your friends asked me about Cleveland last week on Friday that was there. Watch out for Cleveland. Watch out for Cleveland because they got something nice in that bullpen. Pitchers, and just so you could understand what I'm going to say now, it used to be where and we talked a little bit about the setup role and the closer role.
Yeah.
Last Friday.
Exactly.
Pitchers don't have to go 6, 7, 8 innings anymore.
Right.
They get their quality starts, making more money on quality starts, just going 5 innings.
Right.
Cleveland shuts down the game, the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Cleveland shuts it down big time. Milwaukee Brewers shuts it down 7, 8, and 9 because of the relievers they have. So now all these teams that are in the standings in first, second place, you got young guys and you got a great bullpen.
Yeah.
And that's what's making the difference with these other teams that have invested a lot. Look at Philadelphia, how much money they've invested.
Yeah.
Look at the Mets, how much money they've invested. And all these teams, are not there except for the Mets. The Mets are in first place.
Yeah.
The Mets are in first
right
place.
behind them in the same. They're in the same division in National League East.
Right. They're in the East.
But
in the National League,
American League East, you got Tampa Bay, got a 3-game lead over Boston. You got Toronto, the Yankees. Man, they're second to last. They're 8.5 games back. The Central, you got the White Sox leading the division. Cleveland is 5.5 games back. Kansas City. Then the West, you got Oakland, and then Houston is 2 games behind them. Then the Los Angeles Angels are 6 games behind them. And then the East, we talked about that. National League Central, Milwaukee, the Chicago Cubs are tied up. And then the West, the San Francisco Giants, are leading the Dodgers by 1 game with San Diego 3 games behind. So, these standards are something else, man.
It's great baseball. It's great baseball because it makes it a lot, nicer and competitive and all that. And it's going to bring out more fans, as you know. Right. But again, tell me something. Oakland's in first place, right?
Yeah. They got a 2-game lead.
Name me a superstar from Oakland. You can't,
right?
The only guy you could name is Chapman, the kid that went to the All-Star game last year. But that's all they have. Wow. So you look around in these teams and you're not going to see superstars. Now, San Diego, you got Tatis, you got Machado.
Yeah, exactly.
You got, the first baseman. Now I'm drawing a blank on Hosmer, the first baseman with the Padres, Hosmer. So, I like this new young look of baseball lately. I love it. I love it.
Nice, man. Well, Coach, man, I appreciate you, man, coming aboard. We got to get you back on once again. Just continue to talk, man. We got to get a standing date. I love to hear you talk about this baseball, man. And man, I love it. I love it, man. Just your feel on it and about these standings. Any change in your predictions? American League. Before I let you go, man, what's up with my Yankees, man? What they got to do?
Now they've had some injuries. You if you look at it, they've had some injuries.
Okay,
and they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They got Chapman in the closer role, and some of their starters are just like outstanding. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Okay, so you say we got a chance, huh?
Oh, we got a very good chance.
All right, got you, man. Well, Coach, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man, for sacrificing the time and blessing us with your presence, man, and talking baseball, man. And
anytime, Michael. Anytime for you, brother.
Oh, man, thank you, man. Man, have a good one, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. If you need me on Friday, you can call me.
Oh, man, I need you. Anytime you want to come on, man, I ain't turning out nothing but callers, baby. I need you. All right?
All right. Text me. I'll be there Friday.
Thanks, Coach. Have a good one now.
All right.
All right, bye. All right, appreciate you guys joining in, man, from sideline to baseline with me, MB, and my boy K. Lou. Hey, we appreciate you guys showing us some love. Hey, enjoy the rest of your evening, man. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you so you can get those notices and follow. All right, and we'll be back on, Lord willing, this upcoming Friday, 6 p.m., holding it down, man. All right, y'all take care now. God bless. Peace.